Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I'm Christian. I've been passionate about photography and videography for over 20 years and I'm constantly learning and expanding my skills. That's why I'm excited to share my knowledge and experiences with you. If you enjoy what you see, I would truly appreciate your likes and subscriptions to my channel. Alright, enough of the introduction. Let's dive into today's topic, a new lens. Not really a new one, but recently I had the amazing opportunity to vacation in Japan. The experience was incredible and it got me thinking about investing in a travel lens for my Sony A7IV to capture astounding scenes there. Since I use my camera about 70% for video and 30% for photos, this time around it was more evenly split, probably 50-50, due to the stunning sceneries in Japan. I was on the lookout for an all-round lens that I could use for about 80% of my family adventures. You see, we had an action-packed 2-week family vacation planned, and in a country like Japan, that's not nearly enough time. So I needed a versatile lens that wouldn't require frequent changes or a tripod considering our on-to-go schedule. In short, my new lens had to be adaptable, of high quality and stable when handheld. Additionally, I wanted something not too heavy, but that's a different story. Anyway, after thorough research, I concluded that the Sony 24-105mm f4G lens with built-in OSS stabilization was the perfect choice. Was it a tough decision? Yes and no. Let me explain. I already owned the kit lens, the 28-70mm f3.5. Overall, it's a decent lens, even though it's considered only a kit lens. But of course, we always strive for better quality and possibly a broader range. I also have a faster wide-angle lens, the Sigma 16-28mm f2.8. If you're interested in a detailed review of that lens, there is a link at the top of this video. So I needed something that covered the range above 28mm and reached at least 70mm, or even more better. I considered the Sony 70-200mm f4.0 a fantastic lens, but more suited for telephoto photography than travel shots. I also explored the Sigma Art 24-70mm 2.8. And according to various tests, it seemed like the perfect lens. Sharpness, quick autofocus, it has it all. However, I already had a lens covering that range and a bit more telephoto would be preferable. Besides, the Sigma Art is known not only for its quality but also for its weight. It's quite heavy at 830 grams approximately for not so a wide range. Nonetheless, compromises were necessary, and I eventually realized that the Sony 24-105 would provide the perfect range for my needs throughout the day, even though it's quite heavy, 663 grams as well. Just for comparison, the Sigma 16-28 f2.8 weighs only 450 grams. While f4 might not be the fastest aperture, the versatility trumped that concern. I was relieved to have made this decision, especially because I could rely on the Sigma f2.8 lens for low light situations. The only downside was the age of the lens. Released late in 2017, it's now almost 6 years old. Yet there's still no successor or comparable lens with its features on the market, except the new 20-70mm f4.0, but for my taste this has still not enough range for the upper side. The 24-105 extends outwards when zooming, and it does so by a significant amount. If you're planning to use the lens with a gimbal, keep in mind that you will need to readjust the balance every time you zoom. The next questions I had because of its age: does the autofocus perform well and fast enough to focus on eyes and faces? Let's try it out. And now let's check it out how the autofocus performs. As you can see, also this point is covered. So I made my decision. I got the versatile Sony 24-105mm F4.0 G zoom lens for my Sony A7IV, which can, by the way, compensate a lot in low light as well due to its full frame sensor and low light capability. I also published a specific video about ISO and the low light capabilities of the Sony A7IV right here. Great! Covering a focal length range from 24mm to 105mm, it spans wide angle to short telephoto perspectives. Additionally, the Sony A7IV is capable of switching to APS-C crop mode, which effectively transforms the 105mm focal length to 157.5mm to its 1.5 crop factor, all while maintaining 4K video quality. The lens retains a constant maximum aperture of f4.0, ensuring consistent exposure and depth of field across the entire zoom range. It features high-quality optics with spherical and ED glass elements, delivering sharpness, color accuracy and reduced aberrations. Optical Steady Shot OSS, built-in stabilization, minimizes camera shake for reliable handheld shooting, which is particularly beneficial for video. This was also one of the most important criteria for me when purchasing the lens, as it reduced my post-production efforts. Here you can see how the lens works without the OSS activated and then with OSS turned on. It's a big difference, right? By the way, the physical on-off switch for the OSS is very useful as it overrides the camera's internal menu settings. It only happened once during my whole vacation that I accidentally deactivated the switch. After shooting some videos I realized it when I rewatched my footage, and if this happens you can also correct using the wall stabilizer in your editing software, so it's not a big deal, at least not for me. Alternatively, if you're shooting with a faster shutter speed, you can use catalyzed browse to achieve stable footage, reassembling the operation of a gimbal. However, be aware of the additional crop this might introduce. The lens is built for durability, featuring weather sealing to guard against dust and moisture. This was also very important, especially when you're traveling to a country like Japan with high humidity and unpredictable heavy rain. And it rained heavily for 2 days, by the way, in Tokyo. Not for a long time, but in large amounts. Everyone sought shelter from the rain, and some places were simply overwhelmed by the amount of rain. Overall, this lens is a trustworthy tool for capturing everything from landscapes to portraits, making a versatile choice for videographers as well as photographers. So, I tested it in Japan every single day over 2 weeks intensively. And because I talked so much about our journey to the land of the rising sun, here are some impressions of the beautiful country shot on the 24-105mm starting in Tokyo, with some insights of Disneyland and Disney Sea, then going by the bullet train, the Shinkansen, to Kyoto, with a quick stop in Universal Studios in Osaka, adding also some photos to it taken with this awesome lens with my Sony A7IV. Now we are back in Austria, and what can I say, it was an unforgettable journey for all of us. Japan is a breathtaking country. The Japanese people are very friendly, precise and accommodating. In Tokyo you could spend months and still not have explored everything. This country has so much to offer and we consider it one of our best trips. Maybe we will see each other again in future. Until then, arigato gozaimasu. It was a pleasure and an honor for us to have spent our vacation time there. Alright, I hope I've provided you with some insights into what this lens is capable of. Despite being an older model, it's still a valuable asset. I don't regret purchasing it, even though I had internal doubts about whether it would meet my requirements. However, it exceeded my expectations and I was constantly pleased to have it mounted on my A7IV. It performed well even in low light situations with neon signs, as you saw in my Japan vacation scenes. So no complaints here. Overall, it's an outstanding lens that I won't be without anymore. It is perfect for traveling and will remain a staple in my camera bag, most likely attached to my camera most of the time. Okay, I think that's it. If you enjoyed this in-depth look of the Sony 24-105mm f4.0 G lens, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. By subscribing you will stay up to date with all the latest gear reviews, tips and creative inspiration that I bring your way. Do you have questions or comments about this lens or anything related to that comes to your mind? Drop them in the comment section down below. I love hearing from you and engaging in discussions that help us all to grow in our passion. Thanks for tuning in and until next time. If you're interested in my equipment or this Sony lens, I've included Amazon affiliate links in the description. By using them you also be supporting the channel, so thank you very much in advance for that as well. Happy shooting and see you next time.